Well, to listen to you is really getting a picture of how the future of Syria looks like, how this young generation in Syria deserves to have their country back and to have their future back. What is right now taken away from them, and what has been taken away from them for decades. Because with the Syrian regime, we have one of the most long-lasting dictatorships in the Middle East. And let me ask you right now a question about the future. After Assad, how will Syria look?
Thank you. First, I think the future is still unknown for Syrian people, because the regime is really a terrorist regime. Every day his behaviors with the Syrian people, they hurt Syrian people more and more and more. So the future is still unknown. Unfortunately, our revolution started a peaceful revolution, peaceful at all. But now some of the guys choose to have weapons because the situation is very hard. They have to have some weapons, unfortunately. So the future is still unknown. But you know, if we had good support from the world, we will continue in a peaceful way. And of course, anyway, Syria will be a free, democratic, and peaceful country.
Well, picking up what you just already said, the support of the world, what kind of support do you want the world to show towards your society, towards your people, and in confronting the Assad regime with its unbelievable brutality?
I'm sorry for my English, it is not perfect. For me, some of the opposition now want military intervention to kill Assad and destroy his military points. But for me, I was from first with a peaceful revolution. I don't want a military intervention in my country, but I want maybe a large amount of experts, I don't know, they call them maybe green hats, just to protect the demonstrators. And I believe millions of Syrian people will go in streets and protest and reach to the home of Bashar al-Assad peacefully. Just if we got a main can protect the demonstrators.
Your English is wonderful, by the way. No worries about that. We have a question from the audience to both of our speakers. And now that the Syrian opposition is united, coordinated, is it an alliance of convenience or one that can be expected to sort of outcast the conflict? Am I reading this right? I hope so. Can you speak a little bit about the opposition being united, being coordinated? What does it mean at this very moment and for the future?
I don't understand if you was asking about the opposition. No, actually, the opposition is not that united. You know, Al-Assad regime for more than 50 years, he didn't let anyone to think in policy in Syria. So we have no experience. We have no any united opposition, and it's so normal. Because the Syrian policy life was very calm. No one can think about the policy. So we are very new for policy. So it's very normal to be like this.
Oui, j'ai moins de qualifications.
I have fewer qualifications to speak on this, but I would like to underline something. That is that the inner resistance does not highly esteem the position taken by the West, and that could be a future source of problems. Other people might palliate this, but the position abroad and the position of the resistance are not attuned to each other right now.
Another question that I think is directed to both of you. We heard the same speech. This revolution has nothing to do with the Islamists, but Egypt, Tunisia, and Libya proved the opposite. And I think this question is leading into the direction, how can an Islamist movement in Syria be prevented?
Because the Islamic people in Syria are the majority, so it's so normal to be the majority also in the revolution. It's okay to if they reach in right elections to maybe the president, maybe the majority of the parliament. It's okay. The most important, the justice should be. On all every Syrian they should behave with him in the same way. It's okay. We have no problem with the Islamic people.
Non, comme j'ai dit, ce n'est pas.
As I said, this is not a revolution that's being led by Islamists. I was in Homs. I did not see anyone, even an older person, making the signs or prostrating themselves. They live their religion, they do pray, but it's normal. I haven't seen any Islamists. Of course, that may come to be because nothing is being done.
You already spoke in your presentation about the fact that the Iranian regime was involved in cracking down on Syrian demonstrators. And there is another question from the audience. Did you see Hezbollah and Iranian people aiding Assad in any way to crack down on civilians? And could you go a little bit more into detail about that?
Yeah, of course. I was in Aleppo, in some villages of Aleppo. I was in Idlib. Idlib is maybe the most hot point in the revolution after Homs. It's a very important point. Yeah, actually, we saw, I didn't meet anyone from Iran, but my friends insist that they met terrorists from Iran killing Syrian people. I met Lebanese fighters from terrorist party Hezbollah. Yes, that's true.
We have only a few more minutes, and so I would like to wrap this session up by asking a question about that is more on a security level, but of course also deals with human rights and democracy in Syria. And Hadeel, you already mentioned the role of Russia in this crisis. And do you? I mean, it's kind of useless to speak with Russia about human rights, but do you see any kind of potential, and in what way would that potential be to convince Russia to let Assad fall and to no longer block the way for change happening in Syria?
Yeah, I don't think Russia like Assad for his person. Nobody will like him if he knows him. But I think because Russia has a lot of relations, a lot of issues with the Assad regime. So we have to convince Russia that your issues in the region will be constant. In the same way, we want to be enemies, but they should stop supporting Assad soon, because they are giving him time and opportunity to kill us.
Thank you very much for your strong words, Hadeel, both right now but in general in this entire panel. And thank you very much to you, Jacques, for offering these great and moving insights. And it's been a privilege to listen to both of you. And the only thing that I can say at the end is that I truly hope that we will see better days in Syria, and for the sake of the Syrian people, but also for the sake of the entire region. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention, and I'm going to hand over to Hillel, who will conclude